Never discuss these 6 things with people. Let's get started and talk about it. And by the way, have I learned my lesson? Hopefully by now. Well, many of you guys know that have been with me a while, I can tend to be an oversharer and an overtalker. And when you're like that, guess what happens? You're impulsive with your speech, so you say things that you wish you could take back, but once those words are out there, they're out there. So here's 6 little hints of things that really are not smart to talk to other people about overall. And by the way, I know we all might have a trusted friend that we may want to share with. I understand that, but I think overall these are smart to kind of not share with other folks. The first one is your finances in detail. And I'm going to give examples like I always do. And this is just things that I've learned over the years. I knew of a family that has some budget issues, and they discussed it with another family member, and that person basically tried to delve into every area of their budget, giving them tons of advice, telling them how to spend their money, and it was very stressful. I knew somebody else that was doing really well financially and would kind of be braggadocious about it. Well, guess what? Then certain family and friends would come to them for loans, okay? Because they knew that they had money. So there's a couple examples right there. You can get judgments, people giving you advice, or people, if you have money, people might be asking you for your money. Okay, number 2, other people's business, or you could say gossip. That could be at work or personal. I want to ask you guys something. I remember when I was a kid, our teachers would play this game. I want to know if you guys played it. And they would tell us, okay, never gossip. And they would say, because whatever you say and you tell somebody and tell someone else, it could end up getting blown out and not even be the true story. And so we played this game called telephone. So I might whisper this word. The teacher would give you something to whisper to your next door neighbor. And it might be something like, the watermelon tastes good. So I'd say, the watermelon tastes good. And then that person would whisper it and so on. But you'd have to do it where the other person would know. And I think if I remember correctly, they went out into the hallway to tell them. That way nobody else heard. But I can tell you, every time it got to the last kid in the classroom, it wasn't the sentence, the watermelon tastes good. It was something totally different, which means that when you gossip or you talk about things, it can get blown out of proportion. Also, it could come back to bite you, okay? And I've heard of situations like that, so not talking about other people. Number 3, and I know a lot of situations about this, your relationship problems. It could be problems with friends. It could be problems with, your spouse, your children, your mother, your father. It could be work people you work with. The issue is if you discuss things, let's say you say something negative like, my sister Mary did this. Your friend might feel protective over you and say, well, I wouldn't put up with that. Well, that's ridiculous. Now, your friend has a negative impression about Mary, okay? And doesn't like Mary, even though now you and Mary have made up. And I know of a situation, and this happened on Facebook. I haven't been active on Facebook in a long time, but I knew someone that when they were on Facebook and they were having marriage problems, and they were talking about it on Facebook, and people are like all against her husband. Well, her and her husband got back together, but people were against it because they heard all these negative things about her husband. So, so you kind of get the idea. So relationship problems, because it will come back to bite you. People will give you a bunch of advice, and then they'll have a negative opinion because it's going to be one-sided and it's going to be subjective. They're not going to know the other side. Okay, number 4, and we don't even need to give an explanation on this. My father and mother always told me this. Overall, politics and religion, because those can get really heated. People, a lot of times think that their way is the right way and they're not open to listening to other people's views. Now, some people are open-minded, but many times they are stuck kind of in their views. Okay, number 5, health conditions. I've known of so many people that they'll share about their health conditions, and I know of one person that always studies and researches because she doesn't have her typical job, and she researches all about health conditions. And she basically was pushing someone that I know about, her views on all different types of what she should do. And this particular person doesn't believe in standardized medicine. And so she got the other person upset, ended up being kind of a blown up fight. And you know what? If you start telling people about your health conditions, they could start asking you a lot of personal questions, giving you all sorts of advice, things like that, and it just adds more stress. So I think that is one thing. Number 6, last but not least, and this I'm guilty of, sharing your faults, your flaws, and past mistakes. Because why discuss all that stuff? Then you're reliving it, and then they have ammo against you. Many times when you're sharing stuff with other people, what they're wanting to do a lot of times is because they're wanting to live vicariously through you instead of dealing with their own stuff. It's kind of deference, as you would say, into your life. So the best thing is to keep your private life private. I'm learning this finally at age 60. So that's all I have to say, guys. I would love to know what, in your opinion, are things you won't discuss with other people. Let me know your thoughts. That's all I have to say. Love you, appreciate you, and hope to see you on the next video. Bye, everybody.